All right, hello. My name is Justin Hunter. I'm the founder of Graphite, and I want you to stop using Google. I think you know why. But if we take a step back and we think about how comfortable we've all become with just handing our data over to Google, it's strange, isn't it? If we take Google Docs, for example, it feels like a piece of software that's running on our computers. It feels like we're storing those files on our computers. But that's not true. Google owns the software, Google owns the storage, and therefore Google owns your files. A Google engineer at any point can pull up any one of your files. If we think about data like we think about the keys to our house, ask yourself this. Would you hand the keys to your house to a stranger? What if that stranger could let people in and out as they saw fit? And what if that stranger could rekey your house, locking you out entirely? I started building Graphite for myself. I'm a writer. I was storing my novels, my short stories, my whole life on Google, and that started freaking me out. So as I was building this, I realized how important this was for me and how important it could be for other people. Because as everybody here knows, decentralization and encryption aren't just buzzwords. They're meaningful change. With that, I'd like to take you through a quick walkthrough of Graphite, a decentralized and encrypted replacement for Google's G Suite. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sign in with Blockstack. Once I'm signed in here, I am presented with the different components of the app, so I can quickly switch between different pages here. I think we're going to start with Contacts, because Contacts acts as your central hub for controlling who you can communicate with, who you can share with, and who can share with you. So if we go into Contacts, we'll see my existing contact list here. I think I'm going to go ahead and add a new contact, though. And as I search here, this search is going to key off of Blockstack ID, name, other profile information tied to names registered on Blockstack. So let's just go ahead and look for Zan. And there he is. So I'm going to add Zan as a contact. And now he's in my list of contacts. If I click into his contact card, we'll get a little bit more information about Zan. And we'll also get these quick links at the bottom. So I can quickly jump into any shared documents that this contact has shared with me, any shared sheets, and I can also start or continue a conversation. But I don't think we're going to do that just yet. I'm going to back out of this, and we're going to switch to Documents. And here we see all of my existing documents. I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. And we'll just call this Blockstack Berlin. And I'm going to drop some text in here. What you may not notice is this is saving every time there's a change made, so you never have to worry about losing any of your data. Now that we have some text in there, I think I'm going to share this document. And once again, Contacts drives everything that you do in the app and who you share with. So now that Zan is one of my contacts, I can add him as the person I'd like to share with. Click Share. And now Zan has that file, but I think we probably want to let him know about that, right? So let's go back. And I'm going to switch over to Conversations. Now, Conversations is a sort of hybrid between chat and email. We're going to click into Zan. In the real world, I probably wouldn't have any communication with him, but you can see here that I do. But I'm going to send him a message letting him know that he's got a new doc. We're going to send that. As soon as this displays here, Zan now has access to that, and we're going to switch to Zan's screen so that we can prove that. There we go. So this is Zan. He's got the message. He also has the document. So he's going to respond to me, and he is then going to go and take a look at that document that I shared with him. And now when Zan goes into his shared files, everything's controlled by your contacts. So he's got me as a contact here. And there's the file that I shared. So if he clicks on that, as soon as this loads up, he can choose to review the document, add the document to his own collection, or just ignore the document. So I know that Zan has also already shared a file with me, so if we can switch back to my screen. He shared a spreadsheet with me, so we're going to go ahead and jump into Sheets. And same thing here. I'm going to go into my shared files. I'm going to click on Zan's contact card. And there's the sheet that he shared with me. So now I'm going to click on this. And as soon as the content loads, I can now go ahead and add this to my sheets. So let's go ahead and add that. And there it is. So now I own this file, and Zan owns the file. Now I can make changes that are strictly for my purposes. So let's just do a quick calculation here, make sure everything checks out. Make sure I can read the numbers here. All right, everything looks good. This is just a high-level demonstration of Graphite. There's a large roadmap ahead, including enterprise use cases for schools, for newsrooms and journalists, for business, for NGOs. In fact, I'll be in Oslo at the end of May for the Oslo Freedom Forum, talking about just a couple of those use cases. But let me leave you with this. I want you to think of a world where schools don't have to choose between security and convenience with the software that their students are using, their administrators are using. Think of a world where journalists and newsrooms can share content back and forth, get edits, communicate with sources, all without fear of censorship. And think of a world where businesses don't have to figure out how to get their employees to encrypt files and how to replicate data. That's all done for them. That's a big part of the vision here with Graphite. I hope to see some of you in Oslo, and for everybody else, please feel free to reach out to me with questions. I'm easy to find. Thank you very much.